I'll just start with something. I'll give you something here. Well, we're getting ready for Maryland, and Maryland's an impressive team. First of all, we're the underdog. I mean, you look at all the metrics, and they're a higher-ranked team in a lot of different places than we are. And so we're going to be up against it. I know Mark has played a very, very difficult schedule this year. And I think that you look at their talent, you know, they've had some injuries up on the front line that have hurt them. But you look at their talent, and it's real. I mean, Maryland's still really, really good, even though they've got some guys that aren't with them. You look at Anthony Cowan, is electric, quick, really do-it-all guard. Kevin Herter, do-it-all, 6'7", 2-guard. He can pass it, he shoots it, he can post up, he offensive rebounds, he's great in transition, off screen and roll. They've got some real young guys that have done well with Bruno Fernando up on the front line. Daryl Morcell, when he's good, they've been really good. And, of course, Michael Michael's back, right? He knows who he is, number 15. And Chikoski. Michael's back, and so he's 15 to me. So with him being back, I think that's really important for them and will really help them. So it's a very important ball game. I don't believe in must-win games, but we know this time of year when you're on the bubble, it's either you have to win or you can't afford to lose. So what's the difference, right? That's just the way it is, and we have to play as well as we can, put ourselves in a position to win.
You guys got 15 points in the AP poll this week, 18 in the coaches poll. Andy Katz says you 28th in his Power 36 rankings.
Wow.
How much of that do you try to use as motivation for how close you guys are? And how
that
much
sounds like recruiting info to me. Like, forget anything to motivate the guys. We will recruit that with that. No, I don't give the guys many numbers at all. We will. Here's what I tell them, guys. I've looked at, like, once a week. I tell them I've looked at the numbers. You're an NIT 2 seed. There's 8 teams still in front of you. And that's just trying to get to the first 4. And then they look at it and say, like, Coach, we beat Michigan by 20. And they're a 6 seed. Well, that's just the way it goes. We haven't won enough big games, and we've had some bad luck. There's no doubt we've had some bad luck with our schedule. One is all of our top-tier teams, Quad 1 teams. I think 4 or 5 of the losses are to top 20 teams. And that stretches all the way to 70 on the road, right? So here you are on the elite teams on the road. And those teams are hard for ranked teams to beat. Ask, Notre Dame when they were at full force against Michigan State. So that's been tough. We probably had a Q1, maybe a Q2 win that went away in Minnesota. Taco Fall, even though that was a loss, that loss has been hurt. So UCF hasn't really been there, although that probably would have been a Q1 loss. And so pretty close if he would have stayed with them. I think they'd be right there in the race for the, a bid in the American. So we've had a little bit of tough loss, and then, we just didn't get it done against Kansas. So we've only had limited opportunities, and we're going to have to make the most of what we do. All we can do is do what's in front of us now with the rest of the league. And, Penn State looked terrific last night. I mean, they are really good. So they're going to be an important game too. And winning in Illinois is going to be important. And Indiana can play really well. So I think they played some of their best basketball recently. So I think every game is really going to be critical. Like I say in this league, it doesn't matter. If you're weak one night, they're going to get you. If you're weak at something, they're going to get you.
The committee came out yesterday with the top 16 seeds. Ohio State's first in the Big Ten, but a 4 seed. Michigan State's 24-3, and they're a 3 seed. You worry that they're going to devalue the Big Ten?
I have not looked at any of their resumes, and I did not listen to Bruce's comments. I think that the fact we have 3 teams in the top 16 is pretty impressive. We've had other years where we've been a higher ranked league and not had that many. So, it just depends. You can find a top 100 win in quadrant 3. So I don't know if quadrant 1 is the holy grail and the only place that matters, then we got a real problem. But you can go all the way to Q3 and still find, a top 100 win for you. So, And in the old days, it was top 50, top 100 wins. And so we've got some very good wins, and we've won on the road, which I know has been is important. So we just, obviously right now we're close. We don't know where we're at. Some people have us in, some people don't. Most people don't, I'd say, probably. But the season's not over, and our chance for a resume is not over.
You feel like you have an ally and a guy like Bruce who's seen you in person, kind of knows what you have?
I think it always helps when people have seen you in person, so that really helps. And Bruce is going to do the right thing for college basketball. But it always helps when people get their eyes on you, because you can watch a team on tape all you want, but until you see them in person, I don't think you get a good feel for really how quickly they move and how athletic they are. And a lot of times you can say, well, that'll iron out over the course of the year, but when you see it live in person, I think it's different.
Tim, in your heart, do you feel like you're an NIT 2 seed right now?
I was just using that as an example. I would say that we would be an NCAA like 7 seed, but that's but I tell them what the numbers reflect. And right now, if you went today, we'd be a 1 seed in the NIT. If things stopped today, we'd be, who's got us out? All of them? First 4 out, basically. And so, not all of them, but several of them have us first 4 out. Well, if I just say it's a simple democracy and majority rules, we're a number 1 seed in the NIT. And that's a little bit on the pessimistic side, but I prefer to keep it that way.
The other night, we all knew about Isaiah Roby's potential, but it seems like nationally he opened some eyes. I mean, just with the highlight dunks and an all-around performance. Do you think the light has finally turned on for him?
I think it's just a matter of time for Isaiah to be a known commodity nationally. He's got so much talent, and he just needs to stay confident, and keep a clear mind, a focused mind, and he'll be fine, and I believe he's gaining confidence. I think I think this entire team is getting more comfortable in where they stand, for what they're doing, how to play with the other guys, and what to do. And so that's good. I think we're continuing to play better basketball. I don't think we played our best basketball yet.
Has Roby's emergence helped other guys? I mean, you look at numbers, it seems like Copeland's kind of taken off a little bit percentage-wise.
Yeah, I don't know that it has as much to do with Isaiah as it does with Isaac. Isaac, let's face it, he's coming off back surgery, right? And he's coming from a Princeton-style program on offense, which is, your reads, you get to make reads, but the freedom is not like ours. And so I think he's just figuring out, he's getting healthier. And I think in the last 4 or 5 games, you've seen just small plays, how he keeps the ball from getting inside defensively, how he blocks a shot at a critical time, how he cuts on offense or makes the extra pass. He's a really good player. I think he's an underrated player amongst our guys. He's really, really good.
In that same vein, how impressive you've been with Jordy since his return?
I'm really happy for Jordy. He and I watched film yesterday, and I found out right at the end my computer died on him. And he goes, well, Coach, I wanted to see my turnover. Really, all he wanted to see and hear was the play he had a turnover on. And we're trying to do and put him in a better position. But I think since the valve came off and the pressure went out, he's been a more relaxed guy, and he's letting the game come to him, not putting so much pressure on himself. And I just think that's great. And I think and that's another guy I see as an emerging talent. I know Terry Pettit told me a long time ago, you can make a run and win big in national events if one of your young guys emerges. All of a sudden he starts coming on. They pass the torch, so to speak. And Jordy really is one of those guys that could go out and get you between 8 and 14 any night, because we know we've seen him do it in the past. And so we just got to keep him in that good place, and when we can go to him, go to him.
You talked a little bit about the strength of these next 4 opponents. How refreshing is it to kind of be done with those get-through games like you might have had the last 3?
Well, that's the time of year it is. You either have to win because it's a big opponent and they have a great metric, or you can't afford to lose because it would be a bad loss. So it's either way. So to have, these are all going to be very, very important games, and they could really boost our resume too. And you never know what the back door is going to look like. Michigan could end up being a Q1 win, and so could Northwestern. So you never know, how those things are going to fill in the blanks.
How much does depth help you in a game like this? You mentioned Maryland's injuries, and you talked about so many of your guys playing well. Is it something you can use to your advantage, you think?
No doubt. I mean, I thought that Jordy coming off the bench and doing very well, Duby Okeke coming in and making a clear impact on the game in just a short amount of time, but critical amount of time. It was 6 minutes that we were in foul trouble, kind of listening, not doing the right. All of a sudden, he came in and defensively we separated, right, because he made so many big block shots. And that was an important time. So our depth is going to be really important down the stretch run. Anything else?
When Doobie threw the bones, did you know he was trying to do the Ben Wallace thing?
What is the Ben Wallace thing? Does
He
anybody know?
like grabs his wrist or something.
He like does it like up here.
I think Ben Wallace maybe stole the bones.